everybody, and welcome back. I'm here in the attic once again at our new humbly abode, and it's time for the power rankings. Let's get rolling. It's Wednesday, and that means it's the best day of the week. It's hump day. So let's get going. Let's get rolling here. We're starting with number 12. Coming in for another week, Hopkins lymphoma. 1-6, staying at that 12 spot. Matt Stafford. He was real good this week, wasn't he? I love what Matt Stafford had. I actually picked him up in the league because I had, of course, injuries in Mahomes, unfortunately, and Lamar Jackson's on a bye. So excited to see what Matt Stafford could do. 4 tutties. He looked awesome. And then, since we're talking about Hopkins lymphoma, we got to talk about DeAndre Hopkins. Of course, Will Fuller's injury helped a little bit for him to get a little bit more target share, but Hopkins was looking like the wide receiver one that he was drafted for this week. And we love to see that. You know how much I love wide receivers. Coming in number 11, dropping down a spot, Mexi Narcos going to 2-5. Stephon Diggs, once again, over 100 yards, looking like the guy in Minnesota, especially with Thielen out this week. He might have some more opportunity with the new look Kirk Cousins, who's actually good at football now. And then I want to talk about Fairbairn. The kicker for the Texans, he was the number 1 kicker in all football last year, and he had a good week this week, and I love talking about kickers, and I love the Texans. So they did lose this week, but a good week for Fairbairn. Coming in at number 10, dropping down 1 spot, Scam Squad, 3-4 on the season. Big matchup between Jackie and I. It was very close to the very end. I think it was a 7-point game at the end of things, but Jackson had Jacoby Brissett. That was the main reason why he was able to put up a lot of points. Brissett was fantastic. I think it was said on ESPN the other day that a lot of people think Brissett's playing the best of any quarterback in the AFC right now, with Mahomes being injured, of course, and Brady kind of relying on his defense a lot this year. So Brissett has been awesome, and I'm excited to see what he can do continually for the Colts. And then I wanted to give a little bit of a shout-out to Jackson for Dallas Goedert. What a pickup that was. And with Zach Ertz apparently not being as much of a focal point in the offense now, Dallas Goedert got a touchdown, scared the shit out of me. Really good week for him. Coming in at number 9, jumping up 2 spots, the No Luck Ponies. A huge week for the No Luck Ponies. Between the New England defense and Aaron Rodgers, I believe that Nacy scored 130 points between those two, if I'm not mistaken. New England, once again, being the absolute fantasy MVP so far this season. Big-time week for them once again. And then Aaron Rodgers was doing maybe one of his best games. That was a game that I love to see out of Aaron Rodgers, and hope that's something you can continue. You love seeing great players perform great, and that's exactly what Aaron Rodgers did. Coming in at number 8, staying consistent at number 8, J Money, 3-4 on the season. Allen Robinson had a really good week for him. And for the Bears, I actually just traded Robinson in one of my leagues, but he is, no matter how bad the Bears offense has been, he's still getting his targets. Mitchell Trubisky's been pretty bad this year. He's been pretty bad his entire career. But Allen Robinson's continuing to get in targets, and you'd love to see that if you are an owner of Allen Robinson. And then Emmanuel Sanders. Emmanuel Sanders just got traded to the Niners. What's that mean for his fantasy value? I think it goes up a little bit. The Niners play kind of an ugly style of football right now. It's productive, but ugly. And they have low-scoring games, rely on their defense quite a bit. But I think that the addition of Emmanuel Sanders is really going to help out Jimmy G, best-looking guy in the NFL. And I think that him and Emmanuel might have a little bit of rapport going, so I think Jay Money would be excited about that trade. Because now he also doesn't have a donkey on his team, so that probably helps out Jay Money quite a bit. Moving on to number 7, staying consistent at number 7. Big loss this week for Gage Ventura, Jet Detective. It was a what a game between him and Hunter. You know, it was a battle of 2 heavyweights, 2 stallions. Still definitely in the playoff race. I mean, as you guys know, things are very, very tight right here in the league. Gage Ventura, Jet Detective, had a pretty solid game once again from Josh Jacobs. We were actually talking about how much he loves Josh Jacobs this week. Over 100 yards once again. And then Dak Prescott. I heard a couple announcers this week saying that Dak's throwing the ball better than he has his entire career, taking more chances because he's more confident, and you'd love to see that. I know Utah's excited to see that as well. Really excited for these last 4 weeks because things are so tight. Don't know who's going to make the playoffs. It's awesome. I love every bit of it. Moving on to number 6, Goff, Hawk, and Lockett, moving up to 6-1, little 6-game win streak right now. Points 4 is right in the middle of the league, but finding ways to win whenever the week possesses itself. So a good win once again for Adam. Sony Michel was great. He had those 3 tutties for the Patriots on Monday night. And then his namesake, Tyler Lockett had caught another touchdown this week. I think Lockett's going to have a pretty good week this coming week as well. He's one of the higher rated wide receivers coming in this week. I think the Seahawks are going to keep things going. They got a big loss this week to the Ravens, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's right. So I think that they're going to come out on fire, and Seahawks can get in their win because I think they're a legit Super Bowl contender. Moving on to number 5, staying consistent at number 5. Big win for Off in the Woods. Off in the Woods moving to 4-3. Jordan with an awesome win. Did lose Mahomes, but Derek Carr is going to have him moving on for this week. He had Amari Cooper, who played really well, and then the Rams defense. You know how many Pro Bowlers, possible future Hall of Famers are on that Rams defense, and they really showed up this week for Jordan and the LA Ram fan base. So big week for them. Big win for Off in the Woods as he beat Run CMC. What a segue. He came next. Number 4, Run CMC. A little bit of a drop for Brett as he moved from 1 to 4. But that's how tight things are. He's 4-3. Any of these, as you guys know, the things are so tight. Things can change on a day-to-day basis. But really close game between Brett and Jordan. Marvin Jones was fantastic for Brett. I was on the bench. He got 4 tutties. What a game. Got all 4 of Matt Stafford's touchdowns. And then D.D. Westbrook, another good game for him and that surprisingly good Jacksonville offense. So D.D. Westbrook, a guy to keep your eye on. Him and Shark are pretty solid members of that offense for the Jags. Moving on to number 3, big jump here from 6 to 3. Insert team name here. Huge win over Gase Ventura, Jet Detective. He also scored the 3rd most points in the league this year. Things are really tight in the playoffs, but things are looking really good after some tight and really tough losses for Hunter. Dalvin Cook was fantastic once again. Darren Waller might be the best tight end in fantasy right now. Crazy to think that. But he has been producing at an unreal level for the Raiders. Moving on to number 2, SEC Network. Moving up from 3 to 2. 5-2 on the season. 2 huge pickups for Torrey as Latavius Murray and Chase Edmonds. Wow. Great pickups. Great snags. 2 of the best running backs last week, even though Kamara and Chubb were out for her. So great week for SC Network and a great look ahead for the game for next week as well. Maybe a little precursor of the matchup of the week. And then I had myself at number 1. We move up from 2 to 1, 6-1 on the season. Tight win against the Scam Squad. Michael Thomas was awesome. Love to see Austin Eckler still doing his thing and having the ability to retain fantasy value even with Melvin Gordon back. So we'll go from 1 to 12. Number 1, can't guard Micro OBJ. Number 2, SEC Network. 3, insert team name here. 4, Run CMC. 5, Off in the Woods. 6, Goff, Hawk, and Lockett. 7, Gase Ventura, Jet Detective. 8, J Money. 9, No Luck Ponies. 10, Scam Squad. 11, Mexi Narcos. And 12, Hopkins Lymphoma. Matchup of the week. SEC Network versus insert team name here. Torrey and Hunter are 2 of the highest projector scorers this week. Really excited to see what they can do. They could be a game where both teams score over 200 points. I think that might definitely happen with how well the teams have been playing. Kamara, hopefully he'll be back for Torrey, but both teams are really rolling on all cylinders right now, scoring a lot of points. So we'll see what happens. Could be big for playoff implications as well. That is it. We are 7 weeks in the books, ladies and gentlemen. We only have 4 weeks left of the regular season, and then we get rolling in the playoffs. And that's the favorite time of the year. So that's all I got. I will see you all next week. I love every one of you. And this is the commiss signing off.